The 13th day of Tammuz is the day in which the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, who was the Pinchas of his generation, was released from prison after being arrested, sentenced to death, commuted to 10 years of hard labor, commuted to 3 years of exile, and at the end of 29 days, plus several hours, was given his release on one condition, that he leave forever the workers' paradise of the Soviet Union. The previous Lubavitcher Rebbe set into motion the ideals of a shliach of the Rebbe, who would go from town to town to try to bring children to learn Torah, despite the harsh elements, whether they were in Soviet Russia, where a Jew could not openly teach his child Torah, where any attempt to establish an underground system of chadorim was considered counter-revolutionary and condemned those teachers to either death or many years in Siberia. The Rebbe was the point person of that effort. And in this country, shlichus meant going to places where there was no or little religious activity, and to make a change in the environment of the place that one was to go to. There is a story in Pirkei Avot, the 6th chapter, which we read tomorrow. Omer Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma. Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma said, one time I was in a foreign land, and a man met me and gave me shalom. And I said, Aleichem shalom. So he asked me, Rebbe, where do you come from? And I said, I come from a city filled with scholars and wise men and scribes. So he said to me, Rebbe, wouldn't you like to live with us? And I will pay you 1,000,000 pieces of gold and all the jewelry your wife could imagine. Just stay with us. Live with us. So I told him, I will only live in a place of Torah. And if you'll ask me, where will I get my livelihood? God says, Li hakesef, li hazor. Gold and silver are mine, says God. And furthermore, if I will have no money, so what of it? I will have had the acquisition of Torah. For when a person dies, he's not escorted by the gold and the silver that he has, or his precious jewels. He's escorted by the mitzvahs, the commandments that he has accomplished, directly or indirectly, by contribution, by influencing others. Superficially, Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma rejected the invitation of this man, which seemed so nice and reasonable. Rebbe, we don't have a rabbi. Why don't you come live with us? And if you think it's hard, I'll compensate you with more money you could imagine. And what does Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma say? He says, no, I'll only live in a place of Torah. How heartless and cruel. The whole story doesn't make sense. Let me tell you what I think. Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma, according to historians, was a poor teacher. What was he doing in a foreign market? I'll tell you. He must have had 10, 12 children, and he was looking to find some avenue to support them and marry them off. Probably his nagging wife told him, cupboards are bare, and our children are ready to get married. How will they with your income? And so he set on a course to go to a foreign land, and perhaps he would find a bargain there, be able to resell it at a handsome profit in his own area. But he didn't know anything about business and looked totally helpless. The man that he met, he noticed this man. He noticed him right away, looking at him. And he wanted to avoid him. He didn't like what he saw. But the man met him. The man was determined to meet him. Why? For here was the ideal patsy. Here was the ideal person who was so needy and didn't know what to look for in order to try to earn a living. So out of the world, so out of touch, except for his spiritual bearing, which is exactly what they wanted, if he kept to himself. For you see, the man wasn't interested that Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma should open a yeshiva in that city. He wasn't interested that Rabbi Yossi should build a mikveh, or Rabbi Yossi should make sure that the kashrus is reliable. No, just come and live with us. Why? What's the point? We have it in many synagogues, or we had it in many synagogues across the nation. People decided that they didn't want to follow the Torah mitzvahs, but somebody had to, so they hired a rabbi. And the rabbi, he would keep the Shabbos for all of us. He would keep kosher for all of us. He would send his wife to mikveh for all of us. Grand idea. You be the spiritual leader, and we will live vicariously through you. Come live with us, but don't change us. And Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma said, He said, if I go, I will only go to a place of Torah. That means if I come to your place, I will make a cheder there. I will make a synagogue there. I will put up a mikveh. I will make sure that the shechita, that the slaughtering and the kosherizing and all elements of kashrus are 100% kosher. If I come, I will make it into a place of Torah. And that, my friends, is the message of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever place you are, whatever time you will be, from now until Mashiach, you must live in a place of Torah, meaning you must change your environment. No one is free from that. And if you go that way, ultimately you'll be successful and make your place a place of Torah.